And hello, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host, Jonathan. Once again, bringing you my thoughts and review for last night's episode of The Flash Season 5, episode, what are you up to? 2 or 3? Yes, 2 or one of them. Anyway, so let's talk about this episode here because, it's episode 3. I remember, it's episode 3. Anyway, good episode. Very different and what I was gonna get in this episode. Very lot of mysteries in this episode, but it was very fun. Basically, the opening of this episode was great because it literally starts off where the future we see Star Labs has been changed in the future. It's become the new Flash Museum, so that was cool. And we got to see a little Nora in the year 2030. And, she's in the Flash Museum and she goes into the Hall of Villains. And you get to see like a showcase of all like the costumes and props of what the villains have. You know, Weather Wizard. You got to see Reverse Flash's suit. That was cool. So then we go back to modern day, obviously, and then you have the team just trying to figure out who the heck is this Cicada guy. Because in last week's episode, they got their butts whooped handed to them by this weird guy with a freaking lightning bolt knife, and he's just like taking people's powers, and they have no idea how to stop him. They're trying to figure out who he is, so maybe they can get him before. So they turn to the one man they can always count on to help him out, and that's Harrison Wells. From another Earth, they get him to help out, the sophisticated scientist version of him. Unfortunately, he couldn't help them out, so he sends up them to another Harrison Wells, a new Harrison Wells that we got to introduce, and it's Sherlock Holmes version. It's Sherlock Wells, and he actually kind of acts like Sherlock Holmes, which is very cool little character. I don't know how Tom Karanoff does this. I mean, he does the voices very well. He plays a different character every time, so he does a very good job with these different Harrison Wells. So they bring him in, and he literally no joke, figure out who the cicada person is in less than like 5 seconds. It was like amazing. Because apparently in his Earth and everybody else's Earth, it's the same person. So Barry and Nora, they go after the guy, capture him, but then something happens when they find out that the guy they captured, thinking that it was Cicada, is not him. Because what happened was, when Nora first came, it kind of changed the timeline, so the guy who was supposed to be Cicada is now somebody else, and we do see Cicada outside of his mask later in the end of the episode, and I'll get to that later. And basically, we do see Cicada again, in the mask and all that stuff. He wants Vibe. He wants to take his powers and get rid of him for good. So, what happened was he goes and kidnaps Joe and, try to get Vibe's attention, obviously. They duke it out in the forest, and spoiler again, if you haven't seen the episode, Vibe, dead. No more Vibe. Although, Cisco is still alive. That's right. Wait, you must be like, wait. How is Cisco alive, but Vibe is dead? Well, obviously, since he got cut so badly, it kind of hurts him to Vibe, using his powers. So they had to, I guess, give Cisco a breach so he can, one of those devices that like Supergirl has to go into their universe. So he had one of those little things to be able to breach anywhere. He did that to make it look like he disappeared. And so that way Cicada will think, oh, I killed Vibe, he's done, I don't have to worry about him, he's off my list. So Vibe, for now, is dead. Will he come back? We don't know. We just gotta wait to see what happens. Cisco is still alive, he's good, he's okay, but I just think he's not going to be using his powers for a while until they stop the Cicada guy. I mean, I don't know if he still has his powers. It could be temporary. But for all I know, he's not going to use his powers. He's probably going to breach once in a while just to help out. But to the public, he's not Vibe anymore. So there's that. And then the side note, you do have Caitlin finally figure out why her mom lied about her father's death. And of course, she still lies and even gave her. They find her and Elongated Man. They go find like a fake suicide note, but it had clues to finding Caitlin's father, and apparently he's watching the lab. So that's something strange. It felt like it was like very weird. You know how like we have a camera and then in the background you have somebody watching you where you can't only see their shadow. It's kind of like one of those. So you actually see her father literally watching Caitlyn trying to figure out come find me. That was a message he left her. So let's see what happens with that. That was pretty interesting. And then the ending of this episode really just kind of like I guess a lot of people have questions about this because the Sherlock Wells, excuse me, he kind of talks to Nora about like, okay, you came here and you helped your father with the satellite, and and then he's talking about how it was all planned out, probably planned out, that maybe she didn't come here by herself, maybe somebody helped her, maybe somebody made her come here. So that's something. Now a lot of people are speculating that her brother is in the past with her, probably hiding somewhere. Possible. In the comics, Barry does have two kids, two twins, boy and a girl, the Tornado Twins. A lot of people think it was Cicada. I don't think so anymore because in the beginning of the episode, you see Cicada like looking at newspaper articles about who's Vibe and what does he look like, and he looks at Joe. He looks at a picture of Joe, and I mean, if it was her brother or anybody related to the Flash family, he wouldn't be looking her up like that. Like seriously, he would not be doing that. He wouldn't even had the knowledge already. He wouldn't just be like, okay, I'm gonna go to Joe's house and go kidnap him or whatever. No, this guy literally looks up Vibe and Joe. So I'm gonna take that equation out. Who he could be now? Well, we did find out at the end. This guy goes to the hospital, sees a little girl in the hospital bed, and it's Cicada. He's got the stab wound in his chest, like up to here somewhere, and he has a daughter, so we have no idea how it's going to tie in with Barry and stuff. So it's very interesting to see what's going to happen moving forward. But the whole thing about him being his son from the future, I'm going to debunk that for myself anyway. But overall, the episode pretty cool. So, yeah, leave me a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Who do you think Cicada is, and where do you think he got his powers from? I have an idea, but I'll probably talk about it more in next week's episode because I don't want to go too long with this video. Anyway, but I do have an idea probably how he got his powers. But I'll save that for next week. So leave me a comment below. Let me know. Thank you very much and have a good day.